Welcome to Wellness Wisdom, where your health is not just a goal, it's a legacy. If you're over 60, this video might be one of the most important you'll watch this year. Why? Because what you've been spreading on your morning toast, or sprinkling, over dinner may be quietly stealing your energy, your clarity, and even your years. Cheese. Comforting, familiar, and dangerously misunderstood. Today we're exposing the cheeses that harm your heart, disrupt your digestion, and accelerate aging, and more importantly, revealing the ones that can truly support your body and mind. If you've been feeling more tired, more foggy, or just not quite yourself, this is your wake-up call. You deserve vitality, not slow decline. Stick with me to the end. It's time to eat smarter, live stronger, and age with purpose. If you care about your health and longevity, hit that subscribe button, because Wellness Wisdom is your trusted guide to living better, every single day. If you're over 60, this might surprise you. Some cheeses can actually support your brain, bones, and digestion, while others could be slowly working against you. Not all cheese is the same, and as we get older, the difference matters more than ever. A recent study in the European Journal of Nutrition found that certain cheeses help lower inflammation, support heart health, and may even keep your memory sharper. But some? They may be quietly nudging up your blood pressure, stiffening your arteries, and wearing down your immune system. That's why today, we're looking at 3 cheeses that are good for you, especially if you're aiming to stay strong, sharp, and energized. These are time-honored, naturally made cheeses that are easier on your digestion, lower in salt, and full of the nutrients your body needs now more than ever. Before you grab your next snack, you'll want to know which cheeses are helping you, and which might be quietly hurting. Let's get started. Now, let's talk about 3 types of cheese that seniors should steer clear of, starting with the biggest culprit: processed cheese spreads. You know the kind. Soft, creamy, easy to slather on toast or crackers. For many, it brings back memories of after-school snacks or quick lunches. But at our age, what once seemed harmless is actually a silent threat. Take Harold, for instance. He's 72 and used to enjoy a little cheese spread on his rye toast each morning. But after his last checkup showed early kidney strain and rising cholesterol, his doctor helped him trace one of the causes: that friendly-looking cheese in the fridge. These spreads aren't truly cheese. They're mostly leftover bits of low-quality dairy blended with synthetic additives, preservatives, dyes, and unhealthy fats. One of the biggest dangers? Sodium phosphate, a common preservative that quietly strains your kidneys every time you eat it. And our kidneys? They just don't bounce back the way they used to. When they're overworked, it can lead to fatigue, fluid buildup, and even more serious issues down the road. And that's not all. Some of these spreads still sneak in trans fats, fats that have been banned in many places for how damaging they are. Trans fats raise the bad cholesterol, lower the good, and increase your risk of heart disease and stroke. For someone like Mabel, 68, who already manages arthritis and high blood pressure, eating these fats only made her joint pain worse and her energy lower. After switching to whole, aged cheeses, she noticed her inflammation eased and her stamina improved. The danger with processed spreads isn't obvious at first. You won't feel a jolt or sharp pain. Instead, it shows up subtly. Your blood pressure creeps up. Your memory feels foggier. You might get winded easier or feel drained after doing simple tasks. And your labs? They'll start waving red flags: high triglycerides, low calcium, or a rise in creatinine levels. All from something that felt so innocent. But now you know better. And that knowledge is power. Let's keep going and make smarter choices together. You don't just give up nutrition. When you eat processed cheese spreads, you trade away your long-term strength, one quiet bite at a time. Sure, it's convenient. It might even bring back warm memories from your childhood. But your body is older now. It's been through more. And it needs food that works for it. Fuel that protects your heart, supports your brain, and helps your bones stay strong. Not something that slowly chips away at all 3. The real issue: processed cheese spreads are like a perfect storm of modern food science gone wrong. They're packed with salt, artificial additives, and unhealthy fats. And there's no real oversight. It's not cheese. It's a chemical cocktail pretending to be cheese. Think of it like a Trojan horse. It looks familiar and safe, but inside, it's loaded with ingredients that were designed to last on a shelf, not inside your body. And if that's not enough to raise concern, the next cheese might surprise you even more. It's got a fancy reputation, a strong aroma, and it's often served as the star of a sophisticated platter. But behind the gourmet image lies a hidden danger. If you're still with me and learning something valuable, go ahead and drop a 1 in the comments so I know you're tuned in. Now let's talk about the second cheese to watch out for. Blue cheese. Rich, tangy, and often seen as a delicacy. Maybe you've enjoyed it crumbled on a spinach salad or paired with a glass of red wine. But for seniors, blue cheese carries risks that are far from obvious, and they all come down to how our bodies change with age. The blue veins running through this cheese are made by a mold called penicillium. It's what gives the cheese its flavor, but it also produces compounds like tyramine and histamine. Younger bodies usually process these without issue. But as we age, the enzymes responsible for breaking them down slow down too. That means these compounds stick around in your system longer and can cause real trouble. Things like sudden spikes in blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, dizziness, and migraines. Some folks even end up in the hospital, not realizing their salad topping was to blame. Then there's listeria. Because blue cheese is often made with raw or unpasteurized milk and aged over time, it's more likely to carry this harmful bacteria. For healthy young people, it might just cause mild symptoms. But for older adults with weakened immune systems, listeria can be life-threatening. It may start with fatigue, a little nausea, or a slight fever, but it can turn into a dangerous infection fast. We're talking sepsis, meningitis, or worse. And don't forget the sodium. Just 1 ounce of blue cheese can carry over 400 milligrams of salt. Way too much for anyone trying to manage blood pressure or protect their heart. Combined with its high saturated fat content, it's a fast track to stiffer arteries and higher stroke risk. All this from something that's marketed as upscale. So while it might look fancy and taste bold, blue cheese could be quietly working against your well-being. For folks like Dolores, 69, who thought a little indulgence wouldn't hurt, it took a trip to the ER and some scary blood pressure readings to realize that not all luxury foods are safe in later life. It's a high cost for a little crumble. Just remember, not everything aged beautifully is meant for the aging. But if you think mold was the biggest threat, just wait. Because next we're uncovering a soft, creamy favorite that many folks spread on toast each morning, without ever realizing it's quietly draining their energy and slowing their metabolism. Let's talk about cream cheese. The soft enemy you never saw coming. It sits quietly in your fridge, cool and innocent looking, always ready to be spread on your morning bagel or blended into your favorite warm dish. Cream cheese is smooth, gentle, and comforting, something many of us have welcomed into our routines for decades. And maybe that's the problem. Unlike cheeses with strong smells or dramatic flavors, cream cheese doesn't announce its presence. It feels safe, familiar. But for those of us over 60, that softness can be deceiving. Behind the comfort is a food that offers very little in return. Low in nutrients, high in saturated fat, and a daily habit that can quietly wear down your health over time. Cream cheese provides almost no meaningful protein, which our bodies desperately need as we age to maintain muscle and support healing. What it does offer in abundance is saturated fat, something that becomes harder for our slower metabolism to manage. That fat doesn't just disappear, it settles in places we don't want it, especially around the abdomen. This type of fat, called visceral fat, is more than just a cosmetic concern. It's directly linked to insulin resistance, inflammation, and a higher risk of heart disease, conditions already on the radar for many seniors. But fat isn't the only culprit. Many flavored cream cheese varieties like honey, strawberry, or walnut contain added sugars. Just a little can seem harmless, but even small amounts can throw your blood sugar off balance. For older adults, that means a greater risk of energy crashes, mood swings, brain fog, and stubborn weight gain. Marjorie, 67, thought she was making a light breakfast choice with a cinnamon raisin bagel and sweet cream cheese, but over time she noticed her energy dropping and her lab work trending in the wrong direction. A few small tweaks, including saying goodbye to cream cheese, made all the difference. Then there's Listeria. Because of its soft texture and moisture content, cream cheese becomes a potential breeding ground for this dangerous bacteria, especially if it's left out for even short periods. For seniors, the immune system doesn't respond as quickly, and a Listeria infection can escalate fast. It doesn't start with drama. It might feel like a lingering headache, a wave of fatigue, or mild confusion. But for some, it can lead to severe blood infections, meningitis, or worse. The cost of comfort? Far steeper than expected. Cream cheese isn't evil, but it's not doing your body any favors either. What feels like a harmless ritual may be chipping away at your energy, your clarity, even your longevity. So before you reach for that familiar spread again, ask yourself, is that smooth texture worth the hidden toll? Because while cream cheese whispers, the next cheese on our list shouts. It's loud in color, bold in branding, and often wrapped in foil. And believe it or not, it may be the most misleading food in your entire fridge. But let's shift gears now. We've talked about what to avoid. Now it's time for the good news. Let's talk about 3 types of cheese people over 60 should eat. These are the kinds of cheese that support your health, nourish your body, and help you feel strong, clear-headed, and vibrant. First up, goat cheese. A gentle superfood for the aging body. There's something modest, even graceful, about goat cheese. It doesn't try to dominate your attention like flashy processed options. It sits quietly, full of subtle flavor and powerful benefits. For seniors, goat cheese is more than just a treat. It's a functional food that supports the very systems aging tends to slow down. Digestive issues? Goat cheese can help. Sluggish metabolism? Goat cheese is light, rich in nutrients, and far easier to break down than cow's milk cheese. Take Edna, 74. She switched to goat cheese after struggling with bloating and indigestion. Within weeks, she felt lighter, less foggy, and noticed her energy returning. That's because goat cheese contains smaller fat molecules and a protein structure that makes it easier to digest. It's also rich in calcium, essential for bone health, and offers probiotics that gently support gut health, a key player in immunity and mood. In short, goat cheese respects your body's changes. It nourishes without burdening, and that makes it not just a smart choice, but a kind one. Let's keep going. There are still 2 more cheeses your body will thank you for. It contains less lactose and a gentler form of casein than what's found in cow's milk cheese, which means it's easier on the stomach, especially important for older adults who now deal with bloating, discomfort, or food sensitivities they didn't have in their younger years. But the benefits of goat cheese go far beyond digestion. Its fats are primarily short and medium-chain fatty acids, the kind your liver can quickly convert into energy instead of storing around your middle as stubborn belly fat. That's a gift for any senior battling slow metabolism and the creeping weight gain that can sneak up over time. At this stage of life, every bite either supports your system or stresses it. Goat cheese does the former. It lightens the load. And while it's soothing your gut, it's quietly supporting your immune system and brain. Rich in zinc, selenium, and natural probiotics, goat cheese helps replenish the gut microbiome, a powerful line of defense against inflammation, infection, and even low mood or depression. These nutrients also assist with tissue repair, healthy thyroid function, and mental clarity. It even contains a special form of vitamin A and omega-3 fatty acids, which nourish brain cells and help preserve memory. It's not a magic bullet, but over time, these small sources of nourishment add up. What makes goat cheese even more special is what it leaves behind. No artificial additives, no stabilizers or preservatives, just clean, whole nourishment that feels as good inside your body as it tastes on your plate. Crumble it over roasted vegetables, spread it onto a piece of whole grain toast, or fold it gently into an omelet. It adds real substance without the heavy feeling. As we age, food needs to do more than just taste good. It has to feel good, too. And goat cheese does just that. It feels like wellness disguised as comfort. But if you thought goat cheese was impressive, wait until you meet the quiet protector of your heart, your bones, and your immune system. This one doesn't shout for attention. It works in silence. Number 2. Swiss cheese. A subtle shield for the aging heart and mind. There's a steady kind of strength in Swiss cheese. Unlike the bold or flashy cheeses that try to take over a dish, Swiss is calm, mild, and deeply supportive, exactly what aging bodies often need. With its familiar holes and nutty undertone, Swiss may look simple, but it brings something rare to the table: true protection. One of Swiss cheese's most important qualities is its low sodium content, just around 54 milligrams per ounce. That's significantly lower than most cheeses, making it an excellent option for seniors managing high blood pressure or taking medications that already tax the cardiovascular system. With Swiss, you still get the rich, satisfying taste of cheese, without the price of spiking your blood pressure. But the real star here is vitamin K2. It's not a household name, but it should be, especially for older adults. This nutrient helps direct calcium to your bones, where it's needed, and away from your arteries, where it can cause serious harm. That means stronger bones, reduced fracture risk, and healthier arteries, all from a single slice. In a quiet, unassuming way, Swiss cheese supports your heart health by preventing calcium from hardening your blood vessels, a major factor in strokes and heart attacks. And it doesn't stop there. Swiss cheese is loaded with bone-strengthening, calcium, muscle-preserving protein, and vitamin B12, essential for brain function, energy levels, and keeping your nervous system in tune. Its natural aging process also reduces lactose to nearly nothing, which is good news if you've recently become sensitive to dairy without realizing it. Swiss cheese isn't flashy, but it is foundational. It's the kind of food that supports your body without adding stress, exactly what aging gracefully requires. But there's still one more cheese left to reveal. It's less known, often overlooked, but offers a rare combination of power, comfort, and nourishment. Stick with me. This last one may become your new favorite ally in aging well, but comfort, when blindly indulged, can come at a steep cost, especially in our later years. As we age, every bite becomes a choice that either reinforces our resilience or chips away at it. Cheese is no exception. It can be a tool for nourishment or a trap of excess depending on what kind you choose. Feta, goat, and Swiss stand out because they offer more than just flavor. They offer balance, support, and a kind of nutritional integrity that aligns with the needs of an aging body. These cheeses aren't just gentler on digestion, they actively work with the body's changing rhythms. From preserving bone density and supporting cardiovascular health to calming inflammation and aiding cognitive clarity, they are proof that the right foods still hold power. Quiet, steady power that builds you up instead of breaking you down. That's what real comfort should feel like in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Not fleeting indulgence, but lasting wellness. And now, with this knowledge, your cheese drawer no longer needs to be a source of silent sabotage. It can become a curated space of intention, a small but meaningful step in a much larger journey toward healthful aging. So the next time you reach for a slice or a crumble, ask yourself, is this cheese serving my future or stealing from it? Because aging gracefully isn't just about counting birthdays, it's about making choices that reflect the wisdom those birthdays brought you. It's about understanding that flavor and health are not enemies, and that you can still enjoy what you eat without compromising what your body needs. Let cheese be a source of strength, not strain. Let it echo your values, simplicity, nourishment, and intention. And most importantly, let your plate reflect the life you've earned, one of clarity, vitality, and deeply rooted care. If you found this guide helpful, and you're committed to making better food choices as you age, comment "Long Life" below to let me know you're with me. And don't forget to share this with someone you care about, because it's never too late to age smarter, eat better, and live stronger. Aging well isn't about deprivation, it's about discernment. And what you choose to put on your plate becomes a reflection of how deeply you care for the life you've built and the future you're still shaping. A slice of cheese may seem small, but it carries weight, not just in calories or nutrients, but in impact. Your heart, your mind, your immune system, they're all listening, and they respond, meal by meal. So as we wrap up this journey into the truth about cheese and its hidden effects on aging bodies, remember this: you have agency. You are not powerless in the face of aging. You are wiser, more equipped, and more capable than ever to make decisions that support vitality over time. Whether it's swapping out a heavily processed wedge for a naturally aged alternative or simply becoming more mindful of portion sizes and ingredients, these steps add up. You don't have to give up the foods you love, but you may need to meet them in a new way, with curiosity, with intention, with care. The same way you've learned to care for others, you now have the opportunity to care for yourself with even more kindness and purpose. So the next time you open your fridge or scan the cheese section, at the market, ask yourself, what do I want to feel after this meal? Energized, clear, supported? Then choose the foods that align with those answers. Because the goal isn't just to live longer, it's to live better with clarity, joy, and resilience. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you feel more empowered, more informed, and more connected to your own well-being. If this video spoke to you, leave a comment with 1 below, and let's keep the conversation going. Your voice matters here, and your experience could help someone else on the same path. And remember, it's never too late to nourish the next chapter of your life, one mindful bite at a time. Stay well, stay wise, and as always, stay true to yourself. Until next time.